The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
Bam! I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winner, Bo. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Chalk Block, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I'm Bo McBrayer, brought to you as always alongside Scott Stack Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. This is a Nimble DFS production. If you haven't already, check out our YouTube channel and smash the subscribe button. And while you're there, give that bell a bit of jingle. It tickles a bit, and I like it. We have actually been in week 12. They had three pretty, up and down games on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. We are in the full swing of week 12 now. We have a nice and skinny, unlike us two, a skinny main slate on Sunday. 10 games on the main slate. That is skinny. That's skinnier than Devontae Smith. So, Scott, how does it feel to be a 4 consecutive loser?
Oh, man, it feels half as bad as when I was a 9 consecutive loser. So, it's not as bad, It's like getting beat up by your dad, but not your mom, which is good. You don't want to get beat up by both your mom and your dad.
Basically like getting beat up by your grandma.
Right. Or, but she used to do Pilates. So, you got that going for you. But no,
she's got that weird shaky band thing that goes around your waist, and you stand on a platform and just jiggles you like the 70s workout videos. That's what your grandma was training with, and she whooped you.
And she was smoking cigarettes while she was doing it too. So now as soon as DeAndre Swift went out, I told you I knew it was not good. It was bad. So I'm excited that we have a new chance to redeem ourselves, or me to redeem myself against you. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit later, but I do want to welcome Craig is here. I think it's pronounced Craig. Craig. I don't know. I'm working on it.
It's actually Craigar. Craigar Uth.
Oh, Reth. Right. And then Josh, that's easy.
I think he says wreath, which is very festive right now.
All right. Well, just like Theismann, we know where that was. Of course. Well,
Kelsey or Kels.
Yeah, right. That was the craziest thing I've ever heard this summer when he said his name is pronounced Travis Kelce. And then they just went by it. Nothing happened after that.
Well, and plus it's like he's got a brother that's a center in the NFL that never corrected anybody either. So, what are you going to do? You're Kelsey when you're in the league, and maybe when he goes and gets another job after he retires, he can change it back to Kels, because everybody's going to be like, oh, you're Travis Kelce. He's like, no, it's Kels now.
Kels. Right. He can get an earring. I think he already has one, but just he can go live on the plane.
He can get a second hole punch in his ear.
Yeah. Go live out in the woods,
It's Kels now.
The shaman.
And my middle name is Gordon.
Hey, as long as it's not Braxton, right? Those losers. How about all our Braxton fans?
Oh, speaking of Ohio State. Whoa. Michigan played out of their mind today. I didn't think Jim Harbaugh had that coaching performance in his bag, because we've never seen it before.
Never.
Ohio State didn't play bad. They put up a lot of points. They didn't put up the 50 burger that I expected, because Michigan's defense played really well. But how about that running back, Hassan? What's his name? 5 touchdowns against Ohio State. That's was crazy. Impressive.
I've noticed a trend with players who are seeking to get notarized and to bring up their stock, whether it's against Alabama or anybody else. If you ball out against one of these primetime best teams, FBS superstars, then your stock in the draft just gets elevated, like exponentially. So I love all these guys who are coming out against these good teams.
Think about the NIL deal that guy just made himself. I scored 5 touchdowns against a team that was probably going to the playoff. It wasn't for me.
He's never going to have to buy a beer again in Michigan. That's
no, not even close. Jim Harbaugh was already a made man because he beat Ohio State when he was a player back in the 80s.
I remember that game.
he guaranteed victory in that game. And then this game, he said they were going to beat Ohio State or die trying. So he had the caveat built in for this one because Ohio State was thought to be one of the best teams in the nation, even though they did lose to my Ducks.
They did. I'll say this. I remember when Harbaugh was playing against Troy Aikman in college, and I was a huge Harbaugh guy, not an Aikman guy. I did not want him to succeed over there in UCLA. I was a Harbaugh mark. I wanted him to beat Troy Aikman. Unfortunately, I think in most of their matchups, Troy did prevail. So what are you going to do?
Well, most of our consumers are not old enough to remember when Jim Harbaugh was a player, but I do remember when I was a kid, I was watching the Cowboys and the Colts. It was an afternoon game on Fox, and I remember Jim Harbaugh throwing a pick six to Deion Sanders. And that was memorable because the game was really close, and Harbaugh tried to throw an out route, and Deion set him up. Like Deion played him like a fiddle, where he didn't even target Deion's side of the field the entire game until that moment. Deion gave his receiver extra cushion so he could jump the route. He got like a 20-yard cushion, and the guy ran the out. And as soon as Harbaugh started his throwing motion, Deion broke, and of course, the best closing speed in the history of the game, picked the ball off and pretty much high-stepped 50 yards down the sideline and was taunting Jim Harbaugh all the way down the sideline as well.
Yeah, let's go back and fine him for taunting. I mean, the whole NFL
15 yards.
Old guys told me to tell you this. So,
but I was hyped. I was 5-6 years old. Hyped.
Man, I got to tell you, growing up watching football, whether college or pros, it gets in your soul, man. Like as a little kid, that's what I love the most. When people ask me, hey, why do you love football? What's this, so important? It's not like me and my dad even watched it together. My dad didn't watch football very much. He'd be like, oh, here's football. I was like, thanks, Dad. I don't need you anymore. I've got a new dad. It's football. So I do love my dad, but man, this has just been something I've loved my whole life since I was a little kid. And to be able to do this today with you, to talk about NFL, as a podcast or as a live stream, this is awesome, man. I love this. Thank you. I'm thankful for you this Thanksgiving, brother, that I have a partner that I can do this with and share the love of something so much with, that you love it more probably too. That's what's so crazy is you love DFS, so much. And so to find someone like you, thank you, brother, for being my partner. I appreciate you.
Oh, that's very nice. I feel the same way about you. Plus the added effect of having a friend who's a punching bag at DFS, so I can hone my craft just by. I like beating you. It's really nice. When I lose to you, I feel like I've been lost in the world. Like I'm aimlessly just drifting when I lose to you. And so thank you for redirecting me. When I do lose to you, I get pissed off. And when I get pissed off, as you know, things I don't get worse.
No, you get better. It's almost like I shouldn't beat you, because then it makes
I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that.
Then you beat me more. It's just, it's a tough road to hoe. I'm not going to lie. Though I've never been a hoe on a road before. So, yet. I do want to say, I am breaking. I've already broken it, but I'm not sober October anymore. I'm not getting, slammed November.
It's been 3 weeks.
I know. I'm double fisting right now. So cheers to you. I've got a, this bottle's almost gone. I bought it last Saturday. That's good. It's a Maryland bourbon. Yeah, it's really good. I'm not going to lie. It's got a nice wood finish, a nice, resiny, delicious taste as well. If you like those.
I thought you didn't like that character.
I'll just say this. I don't like it when it is over saturated with that wood flavor.
The tannins.
I'll just say it's Woodford Reserve. I don't hate them. I'll say I went to Woodford Reserve. I learned about their process. I went through the whole distillery. It was beautiful, incredible, and scenic, picturesque, perfect story on a nice little river. The only problem is that they use a special extraction formula where they make it so that their 7-year whiskey is actually aged like 14 years or they're 10 years aged. They manipulate the flavors in and out of the casks, which is, that's fine. It gives it lots of flavor. But if you drink 3 or 4 of those, by the end you're drinking wood, and I don't like that. And so for me, that's my issue. But I don't find that with Scotch. I never
bring me a tree and I will drink it.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, Bo. That's the perfect time. Holidays are approaching.
Week 12, man. Week 12 is a weird slate. 10 games. It doesn't feel as narrow as a 10-game slate would normally feel. Do you agree there?
I do agree. I feel like, though, that there's not as many plays, and we'll get to them right now, actually. There's not as many plays on the board giving some of these, just the matchups in some of these games, particularly in the lower hanging fruit. But sometimes there's those players in the min price range or the 4K range for wide receivers to 3K where you're like, oh, there's a lot of value. Not as much today with some of these stout defenses and kind of lack of star quarterbacks being on the main slate. We got no Lamar, no Patrick Mahomes. We had a few. Dak isn't here, so it's a little different. So let's jump in. Let's start with this first game here. This is the Tennessee Titans visiting New England. New England is -7. It should be -12. I don't know. We've got word that AJ.
I disagree.
All right, I want to hear you out. Talk to me about this. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
I think the Patriots are way overrated. That we have way too much smoke behind the Patriots right now. They haven't played anybody. They're beating bad teams, and they should beat bad teams. They're a good team. They're not making mistakes. Tennessee's still a good team. Even without those 3 primary weapons, they're still a dangerous team that can beat good teams like the Patriots, even at Foxborough.
I will say the Patriots did beat the Chargers. So I know the Chargers aren't a great team. I'm just throwing it out.
The Chargers were ice cold when they played the Patriots.
They were. And also last year, Belichick rostered. Yeah. I shouldn't say rostered.
Yeah, he rostered
Herbert
and that entire offense last year to a fierce level. Shut them out completely.
Yeah, he did. I mean, this is the thing.
Who are you talking about? Because I want to be flattered, but I'm also I'm ready to be offended too that you're picking Scott's beard over mine.
I think he's making fun of the fact that lots of people were jumping into my DMs recently and hollering at me. He did the same right afterwards too.
So did you go Gwen Stefani? You ain't no holla back girl. Ain't no holla back girl.
No, I'm definitely a holla back girl for sure. I love all the attention. So.
That's a good one. Yeah, what is it like managing Big Time Rush from the 2000s who had a show somehow?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm working on it. I gotta lose this red sweater real quick. It's hot as balls down here in my basement, and I haven't even started drinking yet. Give me 1 second here. Fill the void here, Bo. Talk about who you like in this game.
I don't really like this game for scoring. I think it's going to be under 43.5 pretty easily, but I do think Tennessee is good enough to beat the Patriots outright. I'll be taking to the Titans and the points. I might be crazy. Maybe the Patriots are for real and they're going to just steamroll a Titans team that is missing 3 Pro Bowlers. It could very well be that way, but I just have a feeling that what we've seen from the Titans is they play up to great competition. They've beaten 6 previous playoff teams this season, even with shorthanded. Like they beat 2 of them without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They beat 3 of them without Julio Jones. And AJ Brown wasn't a factor in their last couple wins. So it really comes down to Tannehill versus a defense in the Patriots that's getting a lot of attention, a lot of praise right now. They're not that good. Like this team is ball control mastery. They're running the football really, really well. They're keeping their bad defense off the field, which is making their numbers look good. And they're winning football games. Bill Belichick is the best coach of all time. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm also saying that Mike Vrabel knows how to beat Bill Belichick. He's done it before.
In the playoffs, no less.
I do think this is a low-scoring game that's going to come down to whose kicker is better. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure it's anything more than a toss-up at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to disagree because of 2 factors. One factor is the fact that the Titans they haven't been able to stop anybody through the air. And I know that you go, wait. The New England Patriots, they're on an air attack, right? You got Mac Jones. But this is something that's interesting. And I didn't know this until I did a little research this week. The Patriots are 4th in explosive play rate. And I definitely, at 10.5%, I definitely see Mac Jones having opportunities in this game to air it out. Kendrick Bourne has touchdown 75 yards. He's had 2 40-plus yard completions. So I do think this game is going to be lower scoring, but I think there's opportunity here with a few players who, all of the wide receivers are priced down for both teams. And so if anybody gets a touchdown wide receiver wise, you're definitely hitting that value. So is there anybody here though you'd want to play out of their wide receivers? None of them are going to be projected.
None of them are much more than puzzle pieces. I love Jacoby Myers for cash games because he's got that safe floor of volume and he's at a decent price. Nick Westbrook-Akina is all right. I mean, he's the best show they got right now. I'm not sold on Chester Rogers at all. Nelson Aguilar is a big play guy. So like I said, puzzle pieces. There's nobody that stands out on this game. So and I really don't think the Patriots line up well with the Titans, who stop the run really well. They have a great interior defensive line, and they're not going to be able to push the Titans around like they did the Chargers, who get pushed around by everybody. The Chargers have lost most of their games to physical running teams. So I wasn't surprised at all when the Patriots beat them. I wasn't surprised at all when the Vikings beat them. The Titans are a physical team that can match up physically and smash mouth with the Patriots. It's going to be a bloodbath. I really do. I think that Foreman's in play here. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. Both backfields are appealing to me. Both quarterbacks have some upside, not a lot. I'm not really going to be playing very many pieces at all in this game. I don't think it's going to be worth much for DFS purposes.
Defensively, I'm interested in both these defenses. We have Harris, who's limited in practice on Friday. Same with Ramondre Stevenson. So they're going to probably play, but you're dealing with banged up physical guys who are going to be playing in a real physical game against Mike Vrabel's team, who, like you said, is very physical. So I like that. Any interest in maybe pivoting to Hilliard or Bolden, looking at the PPR value out of the backfield if they're not getting it done on the run front? Passing is a nice way to the running back to kind of alleviate some of that upfront stress, get them past that line of scrimmage, get the ball in their hands. What do you think about that?
Hilliard for sure. 8 catches last week. That's 16 points that he got out of nowhere. Like, nobody expected Hilliard to get 15 touches last week, but he did. He looked good. He's fresh. He hasn't been playing all year. And the Patriots up front aren't that good. Like I said, like if they keep the other team off the field, which I think this is going to be more like a lot of 3 and outs, there won't be that many turnovers, which is why I'm not even playing the defenses in this game. I think they're both just going to be field position, ball control, which for DFS is fatal if you overstack a game like this one that just kind of goes back and forth with no scoring.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's jump to a game that's better than this one, even though it has only a 1 more point implied total. I think and by the way, in the beginning of the season in week 3, Cincinnati did beat Pittsburgh 24-10. So we have a low total already with these teams, but I do think that this total is a little closer to the 44 than the Tennessee game is to the 43. Where are you targeting, or who are you targeting in this matchup? What are some of your key plays? I have a few of my favorites, but we definitely like different pieces in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to overstack this game either because there's a real chance of a bust, just like the first one. The first game was a letdown it was a higher total expected in that game. And it didn't really come through for us. If we overstacked that game, we lost that week. This week, we're in danger of the same thing, but there's also a little bit more excitement because these rookies that are in this game have more established roles in the offenses. Najee Harris has got near 20 touches a game, and most of it through the receiving game, which gets us lots of points. Joe Mixon's on fire, literal fire right now. He's averaging over 20 points a game. He's a great play. But I'm going to hone in on this Bengals passing game because the Steelers secondary is banged up. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I don't know if he's playing or not. If he's playing, he's not 100%. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are electric together. They have the synergy. They have this sixth sense for the timing, the deep ball. It's just going to come down to whether or not those big plays happen. They didn't happen in the first matchup, but there was a lot of close ones. Jamar Chase did catch a bomb in that game. So that's a promising side because these corners for the Steelers are terrible. Their safeties, when they're healthy, are good, but the corners get beat all the time. And I love putting those wide receivers for the Bengals up against that secondary.
Yeah, and we just saw Pittsburgh in a matchup where Herbert passed for over 380 yards, 350 yards. He was going crazy, and he was running all over them too. Not that you expect Burrow with his knee to do that, but I do like both pieces that you talked about already. Mixon more than Harris just because of his yards per carry and his prices, 900 less. I like that. But then on the other side, man, Jamar Chase, 2 touchdowns in the last matchup. He has a 14% red zone share. That's really good. Not just not red zone, sorry, end zone. I misspoke. Not red zone, end zone, which is ridiculous. One of the highest in the NFL. If that does regress, though, like you said, Mixon is the primary candidate to pick up those touchdowns in that red zone. So I wouldn't play both in the lineup, but I would play either or. I think both are really good plays. What about Pittsburgh, though? Our boy Deontay Johnson. Oh my gosh, I've been doing some deep diving on him. His target share is ridiculous. He's got 28% target share, tied for 5th in the NFL for all, active target sharers. And then he's not had a game under 11.7 points this whole season. So he seems really solid. Are you thinking, though, he can boom? Which you don't want just solid if you're targeting him. You want him to boom. Is there going to be enough offense in this game for him to run it back and actually matter, get you 25? Or is he going to be more in the 16, 17-point range?
That's why I'm kind of fading him, because he's still a cash player. And that 29-point ceiling here is way overinflated. He hasn't hit that a single time this year. He hasn't come close to that a single time this year. Even his best games where he caught a touchdown were in his lower target games. So, yeah, I love Deontay in cash because he's getting all that target volume, but he's not going big like Jamar Chase is just about every week. He's not even getting the target volume that T. Higgins has been getting. So we're talking about two receivers on the Bengals side who have a better matchup, because the Bengals secondary is pretty decent. They get a good pass rush, and Ben Roethlisberger is a statue back there. So I'm thinking it could be a repeat of the last game where Ben Roethlisberger was on his back the entire game, he couldn't get the ball to Deontay Johnson. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get it. Was 10 targets, and he only caught 4 balls that game, I think.
Yeah.
It just comes down to availability of those big plays to happen. And I don't think Deontay has that upside this week.
Yeah. No, I like your prognostication here. If we are going to build some stacks with Jamar, do you run it back with T. Higgins? Do you not have T. Higgins there? How are you dealing with that $5,400 price tag?
I like to keep it to 3 players for this game because I'm hedging that it could be low scoring. So I'd probably go with a run back with Najee, but I'm picking one or the other with the Bengals receivers. And if I'm not running it back, I'm going to double stack it with just the Bengals.
I like that. I built a stack here with Burrow, Chase, and Najee Harris.
Yeah.
21-7, a little expensive. I want to build another one, but this one is going to be an empty one. I'm just going to build this one for me, and it's going to – I don't want Burrow. Sorry. I want nobody. It's going to be a Deontay Johnson Mixon stack. I'm going to give myself 2% of that as well, just because if Joe Mixon stands on twice, it's you need to have him. You need to have him in this game.
Mixon obviously has the upside to get us there.
Yeah. And I also feel comfortable playing Mixon in a one-off role, too. I know a lot of times we talk about stacks or how you're going to game a stack or go after these different game scripts. Mixon is a great one-off this week if you're just going to play him by himself. So,
especially when he's quite a bit cheaper than Najee. He's quite even more cheaper, less expensive than McCaffrey and Taylor, who are in pretty tough matchups, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, this is a really smash spot for Mixon. I like it a lot. Are you getting to Pat Freiermuth, man? This guy's got 11 red zone targets the last couple of weeks, leading the NFL, and he's been cashing. He's been able to get a couple touchdowns as well. What do you think about this 4,300?
He's a talented player. I really wish they were giving Kyle Pitts the same amount of red zone looks, on target red zone looks. That would be nice for Kyle Pitts, because you think Kyle Pitts is a better receiver. He's a better athlete than Freiermuth, but Freiermuth is a more well-rounded player at the tight end position. He's more of a traditional tight end. He blocks better. He runs good routes. He's pretty quick. He's not a burner, but the dude gets open in the red zone. And Ben Roethlisberger loves the kid, loves him. Yeah. And that goes a long way for fantasy. And don't walk away from heater. 43 is not that much.
No, it's not. And also, we got no Ebron in this game. He's been ruled out already. So, that there's not going to be anybody else really to get that target volume.
Thank goodness. I was so mad when Ebron scored that first touchdown last week.
It was
gross. And I even put the tweet out there, where the fuck is Freiermuth? And as soon as he got injured on the touchdown. So Ebron got hurt on the touchdown and limped off the field. And then the very next drive, Freiermuth caught his touchdown. I was like, found him.
There he is. So,
there you are. Look at my little baby boomer here.
He is a cute little tight end. I'm not going to lie. I like him a lot, too. He can block, too. Good. That's the key. Is you're going to stay on the field in the Steelers offense, you need to learn how to block.
He's the best run blocker they have on the team. That's sad.
Well, our guy, this is the only problem I have with Harris. I can't get up to Harris when you have somebody like, if you're going to do a game stack, you're going, blitz on this game, whatever. But Dalvin Cook at 8,100, I just like it more than Najee Harris because of his yards per carry. Harris is only averaging 3.6. That's not great with that line. And, Dalvin Cook's above 4.
I couldn't care less about yards per carry when the guy catches 8 balls a game and scores touchdowns.
Well, here's the problem.
You can miss me with the meaningless yards per carry stat when he's doing those other 2 things.
I agree, but when you're running him into the back of his own lineman at the goal line repeatedly and not getting him in the end zone, that bothers me because you are not being effective in how you're using him. So my advice to the Steelers would be learn how to run a red zone offense with Najee Harris instead of running him into the back of your lineman, since he doesn't average enough yards to get you to the end zone at that point. But I agree with you. I like it. Who do you think is the highest score between him and Mixon?
Mixon.
Okay, I like that. All right, let's jump to a game that I've got mixed emotions in this game. I see 2 terrible teams. All right, they're not great on defense, and then they're not great on offense either. Particularly this year, Mike Davis has been garbage, and Julio Jones gone. We have Kyle Pitts blanketed by 6 safeties all the time. It's just like a hot chick in high school. There's a crowd around.
I still can't believe he's still making plays, despite all these experienced pros just draped all over him all game. And Matt Ryan's been awful in his bad games. In his good games, you're like, oh, it's 300 yards. It's a lock. But in his bad games, Matt Ryan is barely cracking 100 yards passing. He's throwing picks. He's holding onto the ball forever and taking sacks on 3rd and long. Just throw the ball up. Throw a deep punt, basically. Like, just throw it down the field and something can happen. Look at all these pass interference calls they're calling on 3rd downs these days. Yeah. Just throw the ball up on 3rd and long. It's like chances are you might get interference or it gets picked off, but it's like a punt.
Right, it's like a punt. Well, they might need to do that a little bit. The pass rush advantage does go to the Jags. You saw kind of how they attacked Josh Allen a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's going to be the same situation there at home, but you got a little bit of an
newsflash is the Jags will be my highest roster defense this week.
I was going to say at the min price, it's just so hard to get away.
Well, not the min, but the lowest.
Lowest. Not min. The lowest price of all defenses. I should put it that way.
And they will be in 75% of my lineup builds.
I agree. I think the only defenses I'm playing this week are the Eagles. And then the Jaguars. I think those are the 2 that I'm hedging towards. So, yeah. All right. Let's look at the next game we have. Let's talk about this game for a second. Sorry, I'm jumping right. What do you actually think besides Kyle Pitts? Is there anybody that you do want? I mean, you've got a couple of running backs.
All the James Robinson. Yeah, and I mean all the James Robinson. I don't care if he's 16, 25% rostered. I will have all the James Robinson. He is going to light the candle against this front 4 for the Falcons is pathetic.
Not good.
And J-Rob did pretty decent last week against the 49ers. He got bottled up most of the game. He still scored a touchdown at the end. I don't care about garbage time. It still counts. J-Rob's going to get a ton of work. He's going to catch passes. He's going to score touchdowns. This Falcons team is so bad, like so horrendously built. We're talking before the season started, they had 2 good players on their entire roster, and that was Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's still been out a few weeks. Kyle Pitts is the only good player on their entire roster right now. That's bad. That's pitiful. That's worse than the Lions. The Lions haven't won a game yet. I'm surprised the Falcons have either because of how bad their roster is.
Yeah, in Jacksonville at +2, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville doesn't just straight out win this game.
Hammering the Jacksonville side.
Now, and what do you think, though, about the quarterback situation? Are you delving into Trevor Lawrence at all? I mean, we talked about Matt Ryan. Yeah, neither. They're really cheap. I would be interested. I want to see what happens.
There's a reason sometimes the quarterbacks are cheap.
Right. And these projections are a bit
elevated.
They're looking for the potential shootout that happens or the increased score. I think this game gets under 45, and that's where it's frustrating. You go, 2 shit teams. They're going to rack it up against each other. Maybe
Sometimes
not.
It's just a pitiful battle of futility.
I agree with you on that one. Speaking of a pitiful battle of utility that I actually think can turn into an offensive, not explosion, but you've seen both of these teams have completely shit defenses and then also put up some points. So this game's a little bit weird. How are you leaning the New York Jets, barf, versus the Houston Texans, barf? Sorry, I barfed twice.
Hey, the Texans beat the Titans last week on the road.
Barf again. That was a terrible game.
Terrible game, but rough weather. This
Yeah.
game's indoors. You have a lot of playmakers on the Jets side of the ball. Excuse me.
Excuse.
So Zack Wilson is back. And everybody's like, oh, Zack Wilson's terrible, blah, 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 blah. He was in his first, 5-6 games when he got hurt?
Yeah.
How many games did he play? Terribly. He played terrible. Yeah, we can't sugarcoat how bad Zack Wilson was in his first few games before he sprained his knee. He's back. And since he was gone, we saw Mike White, who's terrible, and Josh Johnson, who's terrible, Joe Flacco, who's terrible, all put up better numbers than Zack Wilson, who's not really terrible. He's just inexperienced. He doesn't have the game speed down yet. And we saw Elijah Moore, who's number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football total. He's better than Cooper Kupp. He's better than Devontae Adams in the last 4 weeks for PPR. That should raise a lot of eyebrows because there's no way in hell you're downgrading a guy like that when his first-round pick, number 2 overall quarterback, comes back from a knee sprain. It's not like he was laying on his couch the whole time. He's watching film. He's working on drills. And Elijah Moore is still a weapon here. So I'm going to be playing a lot of sneaky Jet stacks because this Texans team isn't good on defense. It's sad to say, but the Jets right now have more weapons on offense than the Titans did last week.
Yeah, they do. And Elijah Moore, I think the last 3 weeks, he's averaging 24.4 points. He's the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL in scoring points in PPR. This is not unexpected. Let's just be honest. At the beginning of the year, we were.
I forget there were 2 DFS analysts that from the preseason were like, this guy is going to go nuclear.
Who are those very sexy, good-looking guys? Who could they be?
It was, I think it was somebody named after a cartoon, and a guy with.
The guy named after the sandwich, the McRib. A guy named after the McRib.
Yeah, and the McRib and the Family Guy.
Yes, I remember that. They were very much so in love with Elijah Moore, and I'm glad that they finally are getting to taste the fruit of their
victory
effort.
laps for days and weeks and months because Elijah Moore is going to keep doing this.
He's going to keep doing it.
Zack Wilson's not going to drag that guy down. He's just going to get better and better himself. They're going to give him plenty of leash if he's healthy.
Joe Flacco couldn't drag him down. If Joe Flacco can't drag
Joe
him down,
Flacco unlocked him.
Yeah, right. He opened him up after White gave him a little "How's your father?" So I love Elijah Moore at 5,600. I think he should be at 6K. I don't understand.
Shut your mouth.
I know.
Shut your mouth.
I know.
And I don't care if I only have one Jets double stack. It's gonna have Zack Wilson. It's gonna have Elijah Moore, and it's gonna have one of either Ty Johnson or Ryan Griffin. And this Jets team's going to put up points. They're probably going to give up a ton too. So running back with Cooks or even Rex Burkhead or Tyrod Taylor, if you want to do the Taylor side of this, go Taylor and Cooks and run it back with Elijah or Griffin or Ty Johnson. If you just can't stomach playing your guy Zack Wilson, but either way, this game is going to have more shootout potential than the one before it.
Yeah, I agree. And Brandon Cooks, this is an interesting fact. He's got 87 targets so far. The rest of the wide receivers on the team, on the whole
a lot less.
Combined, they've got 97. So they've got all of them, all the other wide receivers. You add up all their targets. He has a 50% basically target share or 48% between the
let's just say that other than Chris Conley, and I've heard of Nico Collins because I watch a lot of college ball. Other than those two guys, I haven't heard of any of these guys before the season.
Yeah. I've never heard of Danny Amendola. Who the hell is that guy, right?
Hogan's a lacrosse player. He played for the Saints this year.
It's not, I was making fun of Danny Amendola, but it's not a situation where you have to worry about a lot of other people getting there. Either Cooks is going to get there or he's not. That's it. Like there's no one else who's like, I should have gone Conley at 6 touchdowns today. It's going to be the Brandon Cook show or the
Tyrod Taylor.
That's it.
Like it was last week with Tyrod Taylor, a couple of rushing touchdowns. He got us there last week.
He did. He was a good play last week. He was a value play. And I like what you're talking about with the stack up here. I'm going to do these. I'm going to do one of these stacks. I'm going to have a Ty Johnson, Tyrod Taylor, Brandon Cooks, and I can find him. Elijah Moore, run back.
That's the one right there.
Yeah, there we go. I'll give myself a 5% share in that one. I like this one a lot. The price is just, I mean, we talked about last.
You can go 2 mega studs at running back or a running back wide receiver mega studs with that.
100%. And I mean, this is going to help me get in Keenan Allen.
Christian McCaffrey. Have you heard of Christian McCaffrey? Have you heard about that guy in Carolina? He's pretty good.
George Kittle in your line, something like that. But no, I like that. Okay, anybody else you want to play from this game that you're targeting before I jump to our next, the sexiest game, the game
No, I think we've covered it. We don't need to spend any more time on that one.
I have to take my pants off for this game if they're on at all. It's been bet down a half point. Is that scary off? It was at 53 earlier.
No, I'd be betting the under in this one.
It is a bit of a high number. I know it opened at 48, and then we bet it up, or 49. We bet it up. The public bet it up, but I do
like hit 48 to 50, but I don't see it hitting much more than that.
Yeah, let's talk about the plays in this game because we've both featured a few different players from this game. Let's start at the quarterback position. Who would you rather have? Tom Brady, the highest priced quarterback on the slate, or Carson Wentz at 5,800?
The way that the Bucs defense is playing lately, it's got to be Brady.
Yeah. Well, and
also we keep rehashing the old story from the first few weeks that the Bucs secondary is bad. Well, the last few weeks they haven't been. They've been really good. Even they've been getting healthier. They got Sean Murphy-Bunting back last week. And it was the Giants. Daniel Jones clueless as a quarterback. Jason Garrett's lame duck game. It was just an embarrassment for the Giants. But the Bucs still. The big key to this game is I'm expecting Vita Vea to play.
Ooh,
that is the heartbeat of that defense. You can say Devin White, you can say JPP, you can see all these Ndamukong Suh. They're all great defensive players, but the heartbeat of that defense is Vita Vea. Because if the Vita Vea is in the game, he's a monster in the middle. Stuffs the run. You cannot run on the Bucs when Vita Vea is active.
Well, it also takes up one or two linemen, maybe two linemen, so that the linebackers can penetrate and can get around and can actually make reads.
And their linebackers are stupendous. They're just incredible up front.
Well, if you're playing behind Vita Vea, you got to make a read. Am I going to the right of Vita Vea or am I going to the left of Vita Vea? That makes it easier to make your cut, and then you go right to the backfield and you're tackling JT behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so this is a much tougher matchup for JT than it was last week, where Buffalo didn't have a front seven advantage that Tampa Bay does. Buffalo doesn't have a Vita Vea.
Yeah,
they don't have anything close to it. They beat up on some really bad rushing teams, and their secondary was really good until they lost Trey White. But up until they saw an offensive line like Indianapolis has, they hadn't played anybody. Nobody beat them up except for, we saw one team with a good offensive line go in there and beat up on the Bills, and the rest of their opponents were just terrible.
Yeah.
So that we could kind of if we look, obviously hindsight's 2020, we should have seen the JT game coming against Buffalo, but there were so many other shiny objects there that I was just like, you know what? I still made pretty good money without JT. I didn't necessarily need him last week, even though it would have been nice to have him in more than one lineup.
Of course.
It's still, this week is going to be rough on him. It's going to be really rough on him. Vita Vea is going to change everything.
And Quentin Nelson, he's out too, correct?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This offensive line doesn't have the advantage that it had last week.
No, you're right. It doesn't have the advantage at all. And I think this is going to be a Michael Pittman game. If we're going to be looking at the weapons that are going to be used on the side for Indy, when Michael Pittman is in a positive game script, when the Colts are in a positive game script, Michael Pittman is not needed. He's tertiary. They can throw past him here and there. His points dwindle in these games. But in the games where he needs to be relied on, when they're going back and forth, when they're losing, he's seen double-digit targets 3 times this year. So there's a great opportunity here for Michael Pittman after 3 consecutive kind of downtrending weeks to rally. He had 4 points last week. No one
disagree.
You think he's not going to rally?
I'm fading Michael Pittman this week.
Oh, this is sexy.
Against this type of team, he's nothing more than that. Throw it up and hope for a DPI or a big play type of guy. We've seen them play against teams that apply pressure. The Bucs definitely apply pressure. This is going to be your Mo Alley Cox, Nyheim Hines game.
I was going to ask you.
We haven't seen it in weeks. It's been weeks since anybody besides Jonathan Taylor or Michael Pittman did anything, right? It's been almost a month since we saw that type of game where the Colts weren't ahead. They couldn't lean on JT to put the game away. They couldn't lean on Michael Pittman making a massive play to get them ahead so they could lean on JT to win the game. They haven't trailed in any game in the last 3 weeks. So give me the narrative that the Bucs are going to get out ahead of the Colts like the Bills couldn't, because the big passing advantage here is Brady and those receivers against this Colts secondary. We're talking massive advantage here.
OMG. We're talking about 25 touchdowns so far given up by the Indianapolis Colts secondary and 2,861 passing yards. So they get it.
That seems bad.
That's not good. It's not good. It's terrible. It's the worst in the NFL when it comes to touchdowns, and it's like 7th or 8th worst in yardage. So this team is ripe for the picking. And I'm going to be picking some of these Tampa Bay Bucs receivers. Particularly, I'm leaning in on Godwin. And here's why I'm leaning in on Godwin. The last 4 games or 3 or 4 games, when you look at his splits with Mike Evans, he's got 37 targets, which I like. Mike Evans has 28 targets. Okay, a little bit different. And then the points per game, you have Mike Evans down a few points compared to our guy, Chris Godwin. He's got a 3-point advantage over
Chriswin.
Sorry, please forgive me, Lord. And his price is $200 cheaper. So, and he doesn't have an injury designation, doesn't have a sore back going into this. Without Antonio Brown there, he has gotten those extra targets. Ty Johnson a little bit, but not as much as Chris Godwin. Are you going Godwin over Evans? Are you playing Evans at all? How are you stacking these or kind of seeing this this game unfold?
I really think that this Brady Godwin stack is going to be massively rostered. Yeah. So I will be doing double stacks with him and Evans.
Yeah.
With Gronk, with somebody other than Godwin. I need Godwin, but I also need somebody else there next to him, because otherwise everybody and their mom's going to have that skinny stack.
Yeah.
With Evans is, sneaky. The back injury wasn't serious enough to keep him out of the game, and so limited in practice just means they're letting him heal up and rest up. I'm not worried about Mike Evans against the secondary. He might score 3 touchdowns.
He could.
And so the Bucs stack that's paid me more than any other stack this season. You've been victimized by it a couple times. I remember one of my best lineups all year was I did a Brady, Godwin, Evans stack against our boy Hammerjacks, and he was very upset about it because he was like, "Oh, that's just a tournament lineup. Why are you playing tournament lineups against me?" Because sometimes you can play a conservative and get away with a win, but other times you got to take chances because there's too many upside opportunities on the slate. This is more of a conservative slate, so cash games I'm going to be close to the vest this week, but for GPP there's so many good little sneaky values in here that I'm going to want pieces of Godwin and Brady, but you're going to have to break it up because a lot of people are going to have them.
No, I agree 100%. If you look at the rostership percentages right now, Tom Brady 15, Godwin 24, Pittman 19, Gronkowski 13. So that's one of the most popular stacks, or even game stacks. So if you go, I have to differentiate. I can't have just one stack. I got
by far the highest projected total on the board. So what else are you going to do? Everybody's going to gravitate towards that high implied total, and of course it's a double pass funnel too.
Yeah,
both teams are good against the run and bad against the pass. So you have 2 capable quarterbacks with good receiving cores. And your leverage play again is Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. So you could say, hey, everybody and their mom's playing this passing game on one side or the other. How is it possible that the leverage play again for the second week in a row is Jonathan Taylor at 9%?
It's crazy. He's not even owned more than or rostered more than Leonard Fournette. So
we just saw what happens when you fail to leverage a running back of Jonathan Taylor's caliber. And so don't forget about him. Like I did last week where I put in my first and only JT lineup at 9 a.m. on Sunday. And it was my highest scoring lineup because I had him and McCaffrey side by side with Cam Newton. And so it was staring me in the face. I was looking for a leverage lineup that was ultra contrarian, and that was the one I came up with. And of course, it was the one that smashed.
Yeah. Well, let's build a few here. And if 4 players are making it so that it's a heavily rostered lineup at a 5th, I mean, it's just what you have to do if you're going to game stack this to get the value in it. And you talked about JT being that piece of the puzzle. So let's take a look at this very first stack. You're spending so much of your 50K.
That's a second mortgage stack right there.
It is a second mortgage stack. That's hilarious. But you do have upside with JT in here. You've got the run back with Gronk. You've got Pittman. So I'm going to give us a little bit of this today.
Look at the studs on that board. My God.
I love Gronk, by the way, at 4,400. He is in the top 3 tight ends this year. When he's been healthy, he has been that tight end 1, that tight end 2, that tight end 3 each week. He's not dropping down a tier. You're playing him. He's scoring double-digit points.
What worries me is that he's extremely touchdown dependent because they have 3 capable tight ends, and Brady sprinkles it to all of them. So Gronk might only have 4 targets, but if he scores 2 touchdowns, then you're happy. And if he doesn't, then you're like, well, that sucks. Because Cameron Brate caught the touchdown or OJ Howard caught 6 balls. Like you can't peg it down. So you have to throw darts and hoping you hit the right tight end on this team. And the Colts are kind of the same way. They got Jack Doyle still. They got Mo Alley Cox. They'll sprinkle in all kinds of different receivers that'll catch touchdowns. And so you got to be careful with expecting too much out of this game. You want to game stack this game, but you don't want to put all your eggs in the basket of this game because it can burn you with the chalk. This is the type of game that traps a lot of DFS players because these defenses aren't slouches. It could very well be the kind of game where both teams just kind of keep it close to the vest, ball control. They know that they can take shots here and there, but if those shots don't connect, then you're looking at a 20-17 game and all the chalk gets busted.
Yeah, you don't want to get that chalk blocked at all. Our guy Craig, or Craig, as we talked about earlier, he had a question for us about cash. I'm going to let you jump in here first. Who is your must-have cash player this week, and why is his name Christian McCaffrey? I mean, continue.
His name is James Robinson. Because I think James Robinson is going to outscore all of those 8,000-plus running backs, and he's only 6,200.
Yeah, that is a nice value right there at 6,200. For me, in cash, this sounds gross, but this next game we're about to get to, we're going to talk about gross. I'm going to go Miles Sanders at 5,100. I am actually going to play him. I know you don't like it. I know. It's okay. I'll tell you the reason why I'm going to play Miles Sanders this week at 5,100. One reason is because the Giants are terrible. They've given up over 1,600 yards against
I do like the play because Miles Sanders is a gifted back, and we haven't seen them use him ever in the last 4 years until last week. Last week was the first time the Eagles have ever used Miles Sanders effectively and enough.
Well, I think
the right quantity.
Yes. Well, they haven't been able to figure out what their offensive scheme is. They're not supposed to throw the ball 40 times. And Nick Sirianni
figured it out.
He finally figured it out. Yeah, they're running the ball at a 65% clip the last 3 weeks, the most in the NFL.
You can't get away with that if you're not running the ball effectively. They are pounding teams up front. This offensive line doesn't pass block well. And you would think that a bad coach, like we thought Nick Sirianni was out of his league the first 8 weeks. But when Miles Sanders went down and they pulled up Jordan Howard from the practice squad, they said, we need to change our identity because this whole drop back 40 times and throw tunnel screens to Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor all game, it doesn't work. NFL teams pin their ears back and beat us up. And this is not a good pass blocking unit up front. So they're like, hey guys, you big guys, you want to go backward again, or do you want to move forward on every play? And of course, all those big heavies like us want to move forward and hit somebody in the face.
Oh yeah, you want to hurt.
They're doing it. They're doing it. Jordan Howard's terrible, but he's scoring touchdowns. Miles Sanders is explosive, and nobody's ever accused Miles Sanders of being not explosive.
No, and our guy Jordan Howard is out for this game. I think that's one of the main reasons why in cash he's the best priced. Most, I guess, value upside in cash. You know, there's going to be at least hopefully 15 to 18 touches in this game, maybe even 20.
For cash, I can't disagree with that because he's a smash in cash.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about any other plays that we have in this game that are for GPP. Because primarily we're a GPP show. We're trying to win you money in GPP tournaments. Not that we can't win you money in cash. Trying to win you the millionaires. But
read my cash article if you want to win in cash.
Right. If you just want to win, a little bit of cash every week and then build a huge bankroll, do what Bo's doing. If you want to lose your week every week and then win one time, do what I'm doing.
It only takes one.
It only does. Honestly, I've got my 5K still sitting in my bank account. As a matter of fact, I have lost a little money. Here's what I did with my 5K I won last year. I put it into stocks, and some of that stock was DraftKings, and it went up and it crushed, and now it's down. So I'm actually, DraftKings is fucking me over again. So I'm going to wait for them to go up a little bit, and then I'm going to sell. And then I'm going to invest in my money in a better company, a company that unfortunately I don't have my bottle with me here, but Hotbox Big Time Flavor Co. That's what it is. Big Time Flavor Co. But the Hot Box is the flagship of Big Time Flavor Co. If you have not, please go over and check out my boy Bo McBigtime at Big Time Flavor Co. And put it into the, I've got it up there right away. But
it's Small Business Saturday today, guys.
It's Small Business Saturday. Please be a loyal patron to my guy Bo McBigtime. This is the money maker right here. This is what's going to get you there. This gets your food with that extra punch and in your face. Have a taste. It's delicious. Please go. And you can also, there's lots of other things there too. The Smoke Shack barbecue rub, the Taco Sizzin. It's Taco Sizzin. The Shelby Street Heat Nashville hot blend is delicious. My wife doesn't like it, but that's her fault. She does like the Amigo though. The Amigo all-purpose seasoning is for the friends who don't like it as spicy. And is that your dog right there? Is that Rosie right there?
No, that's a model dog that's very similar to Dusty.
Dusty. Oh yeah. I'm getting your that. But I do like this. This is a great image right there. Who was your image creator, by the way?
That was Steven Roto. Steven Johnson.
Yes, I
the
love
jerky
it.
man. The jerky man. He's also a gifted graphic artist.
Very cool. Yes, he is. Okay. In this game, is there any other plays that you like? Do you like Jalen Hurts at all? He's priced up. 7,300 is his most expensive price tag.
Don't care. He's got the upside to hit that every week, especially. I mean, you touched on it. I'm running out of adjectives in my articles to describe how bad the Giants defense is.
Yeah.
They are terrible.
Base.
Abysmal. Abhorrent. They're terrible. And Jalen Hurts,
Jets.
I think this might be the first. I think, has any NFL team rushed for 300 yards in a game this year?
No, I don't believe so.
Last week the Eagles went for 240, 250, something like that.
Yeah,
they might go for 300 in this game. Between Hurts and Sanders and Scott and Gainwell, they're going to run the ball a ton because the Giants can't stop them.
No,
they might rush for 300 plus in this game. So Jalen Hurts, yes, for sure. Play that guy. Play that guy a lot of places. This is your pivot game because this game could shoot out. The Eagles defense isn't anything special. So yeah, they might blow out the Giants, but you also might get a little bit of life from the Giants side in garbage time, which means, who are you going to send around Evan Ingram because their receiving core is all beat up. Devontae Smith is my favorite play, and 2% projected rostership for Devontae Smith is so sexy.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my freaking God. I will have so much Devontae Smith this week.
Yeah, that's a great play. And if you put him in your flex too, sex in the flex, that is
we're getting sexy flexy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let me jump to a better. No, wait. I'm sorry. I teased you the wrong way. A worse game.
Whoa.
A lower total. What do you think about Carolina, Miami? Are you still buying Christian McCaffrey at $9K? He went up $100 after back-to-back 25, 24-point performances. He has 51 points in 2 games where he's had a full roll since he's come back. Is $9K too cheap for him?
It always is. Unless he's at 10,000, then you don't think about it. You only think about Christian McCaffrey not playing him in any type of format if he's at 10,000. If he's under 10,000, you don't have to think about it. You just play him when you want to play him. So his receiving upside, we're talking 25 points easily. He's not even struggling to hit 25 points. No. So if he scores 2 touchdowns or if he catches a couple extra passes, he's 30, 35, 40. And then you're like, oh, 9,000 really doesn't even matter because I want those crazy numbers of points in my lineup. It's just it's an access cost. It's a cost of doing business.
And one thing I do like is it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is the last couple of weeks, which he does. We got Cam now, but he has a 30% target share. So they're going to target him the most. That's more than DJ Moore. He's going to be the number 1 wide receiver on that team. And he's also going to get goal line carries. And he's also going to get, screen passes and all these little things out of the back. I love it. I love it.
I think McCaffrey rushes for 100 yards in this game.
Yeah.
And on top of his receiving, whatever his receiving comes out to be, this is going to be a 30-point game for McCaffrey. So pencil him in to any lineup you want him in where he fits, because it's not a bad choice. It's never a bad choice to roster Christian McCaffrey.
No,
and then if you go with DJ Moore, like I love the stacks with Cam, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore 13%. That seems a little bit low. I think he'll be a little bit higher by the time we lock, but it's worth it because he's got crazy upside every week. We're talking about one of the best receivers after the catch in the entire NFL.
Yeah. Are you going to run it back with Jalen Waddle, Gesicki? Now, I'll say this about Waddle. He is the most. He's run the most routes in the NFL. Sure, they're behind the line of scrimmage primarily, but he's running them. And then he has the 7th most targets. Not really translating to DraftKings points. So I think he's 24th, 25th in most DraftKings points. So it's not a point per target value there necessarily. But are you running it back with him? Are you going naked or just on Carolina's side?
On South Carolina.
Or
what I might do is run Tua naked to be contrarian and then throw in DJ Moore and McCaffrey.
That is good. I like that one. We'll put it in one of those as well. Sorry, there we go.
Because Tua spreads it around too much. I don't like how Tua spreads it around. Like when Brissett was in there, he honed in on Gesicki and Waddle, and he didn't care about anybody else.
No,
Tua sprinkles it all over the place. You got Mac Hollins flying here. You got Jakeem. What's his name? Isaiah Ford. You got all these. Yeah, and then you got the little guy that came back 2 weeks ago that had the big game.
Oh, Albert Wilson.
Albert Wilson. Great little player. But I don't like seeing those guys that I'm not on make all the big plays.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then Tua, he has that rushing potential too. And so it's a nice little stack there if you can come back with.
I think this Carolina defense is gonna mash Miami.
They might. I only put a 2% stack with him because I don't really think he's gonna ball out, but he could. We'll see. But I like the Carolina defense. I think that's a nice play.
It's a great play. Yeah. This is a totally different team with a decent quarterback.
Yeah, and don't be surprised. Last week with Washington, Terry McLaurin is the very best at contested catches in the NFL. And Taylor Heineke is a crazy enough motherfucker that he'll throw the ball up to him. And they talk to him about it after.
He's a fuck around and find out quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He said, "Oh man, I used to love Brett Favre, but just chucking it around in my backyard like Brett, throwing it up there." So, I mean, I think you're not going to see that same type of situation here with Carolina with Waddle. There's not going to be a lot of just chucking it up there. That's not what he's going to do. Maybe with Gesicki in the end zone, but it's just a whole different offense. It's not going to.
I think
offense.
We haven't seen Tua under a lot of pressure, but he usually doesn't deal with it very well. And this Carolina team gets after the quarterback.
Yeah, no, they do. I like Carolina a lot. So I'm going to amend it. I'm going to play Carolina. I'll play the Eagles, and I'll play the Jags as well. Let's jump to a game that I like a lot better, and I'm excited about this matchup. It's the first game in the afternoon, so it's going to come on your TV right when the witching hour is wrapping up, and Scott Hansen is 3 hours away from going.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the witching hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, I still haven't urinated. So,
where losses become wins and wins become losses.
Yeah, where piss become.
Shout out Scott Hansen.
Track infections.
Absolute legend of the game, Scott Hansen.
What a monster that guy is.
I could listen to 10 seconds of recorded Scott Hansen and be jacked up for 2 weeks straight.
Oh man, if they sold Scott Hansen in a cocaine form or something like that, I would break my cocaine.
He is human cocaine.
Oh my gosh, I get so amped when he says "you are," and then I just go ah! As soon as I just
7 hours.
7 hours. I'm like yeah, it's the end of the world for me every Sunday. Last Sunday, if you go back and check out my timeline, I started screaming and yelling, "Papa!" like a psycho. So
I saw it, and I was with you. I was completely with you. I didn't record it. because nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see.
Yeah, you're a sane person. Well, speaking of insane, Herbert has had ups and downs, right? So he's been a little insane this year, and then he's been a little muted. So he's had 45 points. He's had 35, 30, and then he's had 16, 15, 18. So he's been oscillating back and forth depending on the matchup, then also depending on how he's using Austin Eckler in the passing game. That cheat code of 2 touchdowns last week for Eckler and Herbert. I loved it. How are you approaching him this week? Denver's defense on paper is better. It's one of the better defenses, but they have been beat over the top. We saw Lamar Jackson do it. It's possible. Is that going to happen, or is this going to be one of those games where it's 7-3 at the end of the the 2-minute warning, and you're just like, shit, why did I invest all this capital in this 47-point total?
I'm going to be more paying attention to the late window here because I'm going to be fading a little bit of that Tampa Bay Indy game in the early window, and I'll have about 4 or 5 players from this game stacked up because I think this game is going to blast off. This game is going to incinerate. We're talking huge points from key players. Keenan Allen's going off, Eckler's going off, Javonte and Melvin are both going to have big games. Jerry Jeudy might have a good game. I think Albert O and Noah Fant are going off. I want every piece of this game I can get.
Yeah. Now, I do love this game. And the 47-point, I was like, I would have projected it for 44. And then I have looked at some of the behind the scenes inside baseball. About there. And Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Eckler.
gosh. Yeah, and Eckler as well. I like the stack. We'll build one of Keenan, Eckler, and Herbert. You're getting
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a great stack there. And then you could run it back. Particularly, I want to run it back with Melvin Gordon. And the reason is Melvin Gordon in the last 5 games, he averages around 11 points per game this season.
Revenge.
He has 16 points per game his last 4, and where you have our guy Javonte Williams, who's been playing great, right, but not getting the touchdowns, he's averaging 9.6 points per game. So that's just a little bit of a difference. There's a price point of $100 difference between those two guys. So if this game is going to shoot, I think on the other side, Melvin Gordon could get you 2 touchdowns. I'm going
to have so many variations of this game stack that I'll have that same double stack that you had with Eckler and Allen, and I'm going to be running it back with either Javonte or Gordon or Noah Fant, because this Chargers team tries to direct traffic to the middle of the field. Their corners are gifted. You're not going to make any headway trying to throw the ball outside against the Chargers. They're too good out there. So Jeudy and Sutton, don't even bother.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen this week.
No,
but the tight end and the running backs, if you're a physical running team like the Broncos can be, they haven't always done that this year. The Broncos defense is what kind of scares me, because the only way this game doesn't shoot out is if the Chargers come out flat, like the Cowboys did. When the Cowboys came out flat against the Denver Broncos, they made their defense look all world, and they're really not. Because the very next week, they got their ass kicked by the Eagles, just destroyed
by the Eagles. Well, I think that's part of the thing too, is that they are a run funnel defense. They I think they're ranked 31st against running backs, or 30.
But it's by design. They do it on purpose.
They do it by design. I think it's in yardage, not points per running back.
Yeah, it's yards per carry.
Yards per carry. They understand. Staley understands that you give up less points if it's a death by 1,000 cuts than that bludgeoned, spear through the heart, which is the 50-yard, 60-yard touchdown. So they don't give up those plays. So the Jerry Jeudy play that you're hoping for, right, where he gets behind the defense and he goes for 70 yards, probably not going to happen. More likely, he gets tackled. And then he gets a nice gain, 50 yards, 30 yards, whatever, but you're not going to get that slate-breaking upside from him. Talking about tight ends, what do you think about Donald Parham? In the last 4 games.
Parham,
sorry. He only has 2 less targets than our guy Jared Cook, and he's priced.
Jared Cook has never been my guy.
Yeah, not our guy, but the Chargers guy, the guy who's
the XFL guy is our guy.
I love the XFL guy. And shout out, I'm pretty sure he was part of the Dallas, was it Renegades? Was that the name of their team? I have a hat. It's over on my hat rack. I love that hat. It was one of the best hats the XFL made. And so
Parham is very tall, and he's pretty athletic. Pretty athletic. And Justin Herbert is also very tall and very athletic. They are made for each other.
They are perfectly made for each other.
Parham is always your touchdown dart throw. 2,700 is right where he should be, because chances are he's either going to get completely blanked or he's going to score a touchdown between 10 and 35 yards. And that's when the nuts hit. When you have a $2,700 tight end and he scores that touchdown that he gets every 3 to 4 weeks, then that's what you're looking for. And the Broncos aren't terrible at any facet on defense, because they've played some good games, but they've also been beat badly by good offenses that show up to play.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, let's build a little stack attack here. I've got a 5-man run back stack where you're game stacking this. You shared you're interested. I could change the variation here, but I do have, I'm leaning with Justin Herbert. I'm not going to be playing Teddy. And I've got him with a wide receiver and a running back. And I ran it back on Denver side with a running back and a tight end. Any changes you want to make to the formula before we pick and see which one?
The first one and the second one are both extremely sexy.
Very much so. I love them both. And you'll notice Keenan Allen is in them both. He should be. Yeah, he should be. You might want
to sprinkle in some Mike Williams too, because he's always got that insane upside for 5,700.
He does. But I will say this though, his target volume over the last couple weeks compared, his target share compared is half. It's half of Keenan Allen. So
that's why we play the game, though.
It is why I'm just saying if you're looking for
how much money Mike Williams won me last week.
I'm not gonna say he's not gonna win you money this week. I'm just letting you know that he's boom or he's bust.
And so I like that. I like that for
I want
a milli, man. We're trying to win a milli.
Oh, I have him in. I definitely will put a lineup here. Let's go down to Mike Williams. Here we go. We're not going to leave him out. We'll put him in a 3% lineup there, so he feels loved.
That's
and then we'll also put him in.
You don't want to be without. You don't want to be without a guy who has that kind of upside.
No, I agree with you. All right, let's jump to our last two games on the slate. Like you said, a mini slate here, 10 games only. This is. Oh man, I'm getting a hard on right now. This game to me is my favorite game to watch in the afternoon.
Serious?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. I feel like there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Minnesota's defense it's not great. San Francisco's defense is better, but I do think they can be exploited. Adam Thielen has a plus matchup in this game I really like. Let's talk about who you like in this game. Are you leaning? First of all, what do you think the game is going to look like? Who's going to win? What's the game script? How does this play out for you in this match?
Very, very slow. These guys both run so slow. They run very few plays. Yes, they're effective. High efficiency offenses on both sides. Their stars will get their own. I'm not going to be getting crazy with game stacking this though, because I could very well see even the defenses are not playing well. There's fewer plays on the board. There's fewer plays to go around. I'm still going to be playing Jefferson and Thielen. I'm still going to have some double stack Vikings because the 49ers side looks a little scary to me, to be honest. I love Kittle and Ayuk and Debo, but Debo is way overpriced for what he's been doing the last few weeks. They've been having to manufacture touches as a running back because with Kittle coming back and Ayuk making his way out of the doghouse, Debo wasn't getting that 30% target share anymore.
Nope.
And him being at that price right now, of course, he's got the upside to hit it, but it's much less likely than it was 3-4 weeks ago. The play here is Ayuk.
Yep.
And the play here is Kittle. And the play here is if you want to just throw a wild guess at which running back is going to get the big run that the Vikings are bound to give up. I think that both these teams are going to try to establish a run. They're going to grind clock. And they're going to try to beat each other over the top with splash plays. And yes, I still think Jefferson is going to be fine. I think Thielen's going to be a great play as a value play against Jefferson if you want to go that direction, because he's 2 points per game less than Jefferson.
Yep,
that's fine for a great difference in price. Cousins has been so efficient that he's kind of overpriced too this week. 6,300 for Cousins is you're hoping for ceiling game. And he doesn't have rushing upside, so you're hoping for that 3-4 touchdown game. And I don't know that's there against the 49ers.
No, I agree with you. I'll say that I really like Brandon Ayuk. He's had more targets than Deebo Samuel the last 3 weeks. Like you said, they've had to manufacture.
Because he's a better wide receiver. He's not a better ball carrier. He's not a better player, but he's a better wide receiver as a traditional sense. He's just gifted. Like, the guy's amazing at getting open. And Jimmy G needs guys that get wide open because he cannot hit them. He will not throw it to them if they're not wide open.
No. And, I know here they're talking about their points per dollar being skewed. They have Brandon Ayuk only at 215 and they have Debo at 284.
They have Ayuk projected for 11 points.
The last 3 games, though, last 4 games, they have the exact same 2.7 points per dollar value, the exact same. So if you want to get the same value in this matchup, I'm just going to go to Ayuk and Kittle. I really do like that. And Jimmy G, I know he gets a bad rap, but this is crazy. Since week 8, he's PFF's #1 graded quarterback, which means he's not making a bunch of mistakes that are limiting possessions that are turning the football over.
He's been the only good quarterback I've had on my Scott Fishbowl team.
Mm.
And I thought he would be because he was like my 19th round pick as a quarterback. And I had Mahomes. Mahomes is killing me in Scott Fishbowl with all the incomplete and turnover negatives that you get on that format. So Jimmy G, not a good quarterback, but for certain scoring formats, he's been better than the greats.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have to run this stack. I'm going to build a stack here with the quarterback. I'm going to have it quarterbackless. But I do like Dalvin Cook running it back. The volume is there for him. 8,100, you're getting a good price. He's projected 20 points. So I'm going to go with Ayuk, Cook, and Kittle. I really like Kittle. He's averaging 17.8 points since he's come back from injury.
That's good.
That's better than Kelsey. That's better than Kelsey. Kelsey's 17.6, number one in the NFL. So there's going to be volume here for him. He's got 19 targets in 3 games. You know he's getting at least 6, 7. And listen, this game might shoot, but I think it does go under. So I don't want to stack it with the quarterbacks necessarily. I just want to get a few pieces of this.
And people always, we get caught up in yards expected and touches expected and how many catches they're going to get, how many carries they're going to get. That's cash game mentality. Don't forget that people like Dalvin Cook are a risk every week to score 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And touchdowns are really where you make the money. Yeah, it's nice to get a 100-yard bonus or 10 catches from a running back every other week. But the nuts is when your running back scores a bunch of touchdowns like Jonathan Taylor and Eckler did last week.
Yes.
You're getting 60 yards worth of points in one play.
You're getting the value and the optimization that you need in these matchups for GPP winning. That's what you need. That's how you're going to have to attack it. Cheers, by the way. What are you drinking? I shared my little cocktail from Maryland. What's your choice today?
This is the High West American Prairie Bourbon. It's distilled and bottled in Utah.
The Utes. Cheers to Zack Wilson, the Utes, and slate breaking, Millie making.
Zack Wilson went to BYU. He probably hates the Utes.
He's from Utah, right? It's the same. Yeah, I'm not talking about the Utes, the university. I'm talking about Utahns. I don't know what's the name of people who are from Utah. We used to call them Mormons. Cheers.
Most of them, yeah.
Non-caffeinated friends. By the way, I don't drink caffeine either, and it's not because I think it's wrong. It's because I don't need caffeine. I already have too much caffeine. I need to wake up and take a vape hit to chill the fuck out. So
I drink enough caffeine for both of us. So don't worry about
I've never done cocaine. I never will. But me on cocaine would just be me insanely nonstop talking, which I already do, but so fast you couldn't. It'd be Sal Vetri turned up to 2 times speed on YouTube, which, by the way, tomorrow I will be listening to Sal Vetri at that speed. In case you want to know how I power through all these GPP podcasts, 2 times speed. And Sal already speaks at 1.5% speed normally. So we're talking about like a 3% speed.
Well, he packs 2 hours worth of show in about 25 minutes.
Oh my gosh. That guy, I love Sal Vetri so much. And, shout out him. Shout out, by the way, I got to say, earlier this week, I had a great week. A lot of favor was bestowed on me that is not necessarily deserved, but I'm so grateful for it. So I got to go on Awesemo yesterday and talk to Dave Lofgren. Alex Baker, and Sal Vetri. Those are like 3 of my favorite DFS guys that are not me and you. And so thank you for that. Jordan Vanek as well over there. He works for Awesemo.
Insanely jealous. I was green with envy all week.
I felt so bad too, because as my partner, I'm not a solo act. I'm never by myself. I'm always with you or with Mike. And so to be recognized individually, I'm grateful for it, but it's not because
you deserve it.
You deserve it. I am standing and being propped up and pulled up by everybody in this fantasy industry. Without everybody here, I'm nobody. Without everybody who's helped me, without you, without Bomic big time, there's no Nimble W numbers this year or last. So it will come, my friend, for sure. I'm waiting for ESPN to come calling for you. If they know what's good for them, they will put you as their DFS expert alongside somebody, I don't know, like Field Yates.
Those are the questions I get at the Thanksgiving table, by the way, from my family. It's like, when's your first feature for ESPN gonna be? I thought you were going for that, weren't you?
Yep.
You don't realize that they probably get thousands of applications every month, and I'm not exactly that high on their radar. I have connections at ESPN, but they're not the strongest connections because they're new and they're exciting. And I love to meet people who are in that realm that I hope to one day be in. But for me, it's just having fun and doing what I love. And like football is what I love. Like I can talk about football for free forever.
I mean, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. But
definitely.
You don't have to be, though. I will say this month, and you can see it right here, your patrons, your active patrons will not be billed on December 1st. Billing will resume on January 1st. If you are interested in GPP, if you're interested in cash, Bo and I put together tons of different lineups, about 10 different lineups each week, depending on the Patreon level that you're at. But the whole month of December, it is free. Patreon.com/NimbleDFS. Please go check it out. I'll put this link down below. It's all free. So when you sign up, you're not billed until January, and you're not billed for December. So you could even go through the whole December and then go, I'm out. And then you don't pay anything, but you get to come in.
At the stage of the season that we're in, I don't expect billing our patrons until next August.
That is honestly the truth. For us, this year has been about trying to figure it out, what we're doing, trying to get it all together. So we're not
building the brand out. Like if you guys are a fan of what we do, you can join right now. Get the Barry Sanders level for all we care. It's not going to cost you anything, and you get access to everything. You can DM us on Twitter. And get personalized advice. Like we answer, both of us answer all of our DMs when it comes to lineup building, kind of what our thoughts are on a certain game, a certain matchup. I've been crushing it on the showdown slate. So if you want to hit me up with showdown slate questions, don't hesitate. This is a family. We're trying to build like a family organization where people of like interests can excel at the games we play. Like it's a lot more fun when you win these games. Like it's no fun to deposit money in DraftKings every week because you didn't quite cut the pay line.
No. And for us too, I think this is a place where we're trying to build a community. We're not trying to get rich in this setting. We're looking to build friends who are like.
You mean we're not? We're not trying to get rich?
Well, I'll just say
you lied to me. You are a filthy liar.
I'm a fantasy.
You said we would be swimming like Scrooge McDuck in gold coins.
I'm a fantasy millionaire already, Bo. I don't know if you know that.
Damn, where's my cut, man?
Well, my cut's still coming as well. So it's in transit. But
I've been swimming in that chat of the millionaires for a year and a half now.
Oh, man, you're our favorite guest by far. Who's come on the show? No offense, Denny Carter. Love Denny.
Most handsome.
You've come on twice. You've come on twice. Most, beloved guest. And you talk mad shit, which I mean, come on, who doesn't love mad shit talking?
Especially at your expense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I am a punching bag. I'm a punching bag. I live with women. I've grown up with women. I'm used to being told what to do. I'm used to getting, that feeling where people say you made a mistake. I just go, whatever, man.
I pretty much have the same. I have the same home life as you. I just lash out against you because that's the only chance I got.
I'll be honest with you. I met your wife. Do not lash out against her. That would not. I think I asked her to pass the blunt, and I didn't see her the rest of the time I was at your house. So she's not a woman.
That was a mistake.
I didn't. I
should have warned you, but I kind of wanted to see what happened.
What's funny is that I love your wife. Your wife and I are similar in that we're very just strong people, and so most other people wouldn't ask to have the blunt passed to them. They would just be patient like you. I'm like, hey, let's get it going. You know what I mean? So love your wife. Shout out the very lovely Miss McBrayer right now. Hope she's having a good time. She's partying with friends, isn't she? I thought I heard them earlier.
Oh yeah, they're right on the other side of the wall here. Her brother's in town. Her best friend's in hanging out. Addison's here. The dogs are here. The cat's here. I'm here. Once the show's over, I'm probably gonna try to join the party, or they might kick me out. Who knows?
You might get kicked, but it's okay. I've seen your garage. You got some good stuff in there. You'll be okay.
I'll be
in your pantry and stuff. There's some good snacks in there. All right, we're digressing. By the way, Bo did host me this year in the middle of August. He had me up for 4 days. That was one of my favorite. It might be my 4 favorite days of this year so far. Looking back, I haven't had that much freedom and enjoyment and just hanging out with anybody this year. So thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So last game before we get into our Millie Maker build over there at OccupyFantasy.com. By the way, we are at RunTheSims.com right now. If you're wondering what's this amazing tool that they're using every week, Justin Freeman, the brain behind this, over at RunTheSims.com. If you don't know him, he is one of the leading minds in kind of analytical application of data and software to the fantasy football process. I love the engine that he's built here, the optimizer. He's got a bunch of other tools as well. So please do patron Justin Freeman. You can sign up for a free account for them as well. The link is down in the YouTube if you're listening. Jump down in there, sign up for runthesims.com. It's a great organization. I love working with them, and Justin is the man as well. So please do patron them. Last game might be the most marquee game on this slate. I know we've got Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, but here, yeah, we've got two famous quarterbacks here, and a guy named Aaron, and then some other guy named
Shout out NorCal.
Stafford. So Aaron and Stafford are in this game. Who are you leaning? How are you seeing this game? This game to me has snow potential. It's got cold potential. There's a lot going on here.
I honestly don't know about this game. I'll have pieces of it, but I'm not excited about this game. I think it'll be a good battle between two very good teams that are going to be in the playoffs. They might see each other again in a month or so. This is this type of game where everybody who's a football fan really, really wants to watch this game because it's going to be a battle. Do I really want to try to focus in on the DFS pieces of this game? Not really.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is my obvious one. Him down at 14% projected rostership has me very interested. Cooper Kupp, I'm actually going to fade this week because $1,000 more than Devontae Adams is a crime.
Yeah, it is.
It's an absolute crime.
Well, their projection too are very similar, not just here at Run the Sims, but across the board. You're getting a insane target volume from Cooper Kupp, but I don't know how efficient he can be if it's going to be cold, it's going to be snowing. It's not going to be an indoor dome game or, a game where there's not going to be a weather impact. It's going to be a little bit hairy.
He might be a play that I throw in there in that Zack Wilson lineup.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have to pay down. You have to get ugly if you're going to play this game, and stacking this game is tricky as well because you can't. I
also interestingly, I do have a GPP lineup that I built. I didn't send it to the Patreon. I might send it your way so you can post it for free, but it's a wild one. I'm talking. I punted on multiple positions so that I could have Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Christian McCaffrey in the same lineup.
Oh my gosh, that's sexy. I listen, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to run this back in this game, I don't think I'm going to target either quarterback. I think that the Packers are going to want to run the football a little bit more, just given Aaron Rodgers' COVID toe. Is that a thing? Did he invent COVID toe?
Yeah, he invented it. It's not a thing.
It's not a thing. Right. Right. So,
he has a broken toe that he acquired during COVID.
Right. I just love how I print out a picture of him touching his toes and trying to explain his toe. This guy, he does really have an inflated sense of self where he breaks his toe or he gets a turf toe injury and he's inventing new language that we're going to now talk about as COVID.
I just think that the dude is so sharp. He's entertaining to watch because so much of what he says is so tongue in cheek that you're just like, that's hilarious. He's got the driest humor that you could possibly find. And he's just like, he's having fun with these press conferences because there's no way he's staying in Green Bay next year. This is his farewell tour, and he's making a circus out of it, and it's great. The storylines are amazing.
Oh, they are. I really want him and Tom Brady to face off in the NFC Championship game again. They have
no. It's gonna be the Cowboys. The Cowboys are gonna make it.
Oh. Okay, we'll get to that later. I did a few run backs. I put a Cooper Kupp lineup in there just because, who knows? Maybe he shoots. But
Matthew Berry's little Cooper Kupp.
I like Van Jefferson a little bit too at 49.
I like Odell Beckham.
Okay, I'll put Odell. I was going to ask you, do you like him or Odell?
Odell by a mile.
Odell by a mile. Okay, all right. So
Odell's going to be very, very possibly the slate breaking guy this week.
Ooh, that is sexy. Okay,
yeah.
So
we can cut that out and tweet it out because I wrote about him in the cash article because at 5,000 he's a great cash value because Sean McVay this year has been telling the truth, and we're not used to Sean McVay telling the truth publicly, but this year he's batting 1,000, and he said that Odell Beckham will have a huge impact on this game. And I believe him because the safeties for Green Bay are great. They have great safeties. Their corners are not so great. And I think that they're going to manufacture quite a few targets for Odell early on in the game. And Odell's not the same player he was 5 years ago. We all know that.
Yeah.
But he's still good. He's still really, really good.
No, he is. He is definitely. So let's I did run the Sims, by the way. Are there any lineups here that you are going to be gravitating to? There's a lot of shitty quarterbacks. Not a lot. There's
Very top. Second one.
Cam Newton. This one right here.
McCaffrey, Johnson, Adams, Moore, Pittman, Freiermuth, Westbrook, Akina, and the Vikings. I love that one.
Oh, that is a sexy one. The only issue I do have, I like Westbrook Akina in here. Maybe if you're looking for the big boom is Pittman. I think I would switch Pittman out. Well, you don't want to have two Jets necessarily, but you could with Elijah Moore there if you're looking for
I would go either or.
Yeah, either or. I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but I was hoping to see him up in here somewhere. I don't see a lot of Elijah Moore. I see more Crowder, unfortunately. So I guess they're leaning Crowder. I'm leaning Elijah Moore. So I'm gonna go against the Sims on this one.
Nothing against Crowder, but he's a cash player.
Well, he's also a possession wide receiver that has minimal upside outside of target volume. He's not going to go downfield and break you that way. Not that he can't, but that's not his role. He can if he's going to be put in that position, but that's not his role. He's a slot guy. Moore's been on the outside more.
Did we highlight what Ty Johnson's projected rostership is going to be? Because I'm interested.
No, let's go back and look at the rostership for him for sure. I like his 4,300. His rostership right now, only 7%. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So that might go up because, whether we like it or not, we do get over 1,000 views on the show within the 12-hour window. I'm pretty sure we had an impact on the Bucks stack a couple weeks ago because up until lock, they were at 5% for Brady and it ended up being 27%. I don't think we're worth more than a few percentage points in the chalk, but shut your mouth about Ty Johnson until luck, and then just praise the Lord when you have a bunch of him at 4,300. And the kid's a stud. Yeah. Michael Carter's a slightly better version of Ty Johnson. There's a reason why the Jets took Michael Carter in the draft because he's a very good running back. But without Michael Carter there stealing touches, I don't think Tevin Coleman's the guy that's going to steal any thunder away from Ty Johnson because Ty Johnson's simply a better player.
Yeah, and Ty Johnson, I know Michael Carter had been getting passing volume out of the backfield. That was only Ty Johnson's role. So Ty Johnson was used primarily, most of his yards, double his yardage have come from passes than to rushing. So now you have somebody who's going to be used in both roles. He's going to be rushing the football and he's going to stay on the field. So I do like it at 4,300. I don't think his projection here at 10 is close to what he's
going for 20 this week. I'm calling it 20 points for Ty Johnson.
I love Ty. He'll be definitely in our Millie Maker lineup, Bo. I'm making an executive decision. If that's especially at 7% too.
That is kind of high, but it's not that high.
Well, it's not that high, but like you said, we overzetted last week. We moved the line, and we overzetted 2 weeks ago when we moved the line again. So if you don't know what that is, Pete Overzet literally made Patrick Laird a thing a couple years ago. He made
praise the Laird.
Yeah, he praised the Laird up. His rostership shot up because Pete was over
him all week long.
All week long, and then I think a couple weeks later he got a touchdown or something, and so Pete Overzet got to go meet Patrick Laird with I think it was Davis Maddock, and that was pretty cool. They have a picture of them together. So we're overzetting this week with Ty Johnson. I don't want that many people to know about him, so we're going to move on, and we'll go to our Millie Maker build this week. Build a lineup with him right now. So
slot him in.
Yeah,
I swear on everything. On Wednesday, I was about to build like I did last year. Remember last year when I did the Curtis Samuel at 4,300?
Yes.
And I was then now what? Curtis Samuel, now what? And everybody just shredded me on Twitter. They're like, now you just delete it and start over. Blah blah blah. I got so much trash for doing the Curtis Samuel. Now what? And he put up 29 points that week, and I never played him again. I didn't play him a single time the rest of the year. But that week, that one matchup, I just had that edge. That you just had that. It's between a gut and a football decision. I'm playing this guy and I'm going to build around this guy in all my lineups. And this week I was tempted on Wednesday to do a Ty Johnson and now what tweet. So I'm going to do it right now.
No, you're going to drive the ownership. You're doing the exact same thing.
Nobody follows me.
Oh my gosh. By the way, if you don't follow Bowmick big time, you should. And let me just go. This is my Twitter. You should follow me too, but please follow Bo. Bo has been steadily sneaking up on me and the follows He's wearing a sexy bathrobe here. He's close. He's close to 5,500. Let's get Bo to 5,500 today. And then also, look, he's FSWA approved. Oh my gosh, Ball Blast, IBT, Dynasty Vibe. He's got so many things on his resume. I love it. And also, he's the king of sports me. Didn't you have like 20 wins this week or something, or 15 wins? You just been...
Yeah, I've had 30 wins the last 2 weeks. I hit 100 wins overall on Sports Me. So go and download the Sports Me app and debate me. I want you to come at me with all the smoke you got because not many are succeeding.
Yeah, and hey, shout out! Don't be a racist, drunken monkey, on Sports Me app. I know you're the number one guy on Sports Me app, but when you say Lamar Jackson isn't good because of his intelligence level and he can't read defenses, I don't care who you are, drunken monkey. Don't ever fuck with me.
You got a little fired up over that one.
Yeah, listen, I didn't even.
I didn't think he was taking that angle. I think that he said that about a couple players, regardless of race. So.
It's just stupid. It's a straw man, stupid argument. If you who are not a football player, who are not a football coach, who have zero experience in a locker room or in an NFL professional setting at all, you're talking about the intelligence of another person. Shut the fuck up, drunken monkey. That's my thought. And if I lost any of my friends here, I'm so sorry. Hey, and drunken monkey, if you want to come at me on Twitter. I'm way bigger on Twitter than you are. You got nobody on Twitter who follows you. So good for you on that one. All right, let's jump into our non-aggressive part of the show where I don't slam drunken monkey for his stupidness. Let's go over and get another running back. Who are you going to pair up? Is it going to be Christian McCaffrey? He's 23% rostered.
No, we're doing James Robinson.
Oh, yes. He's only 17% rostered. I love this. So far, we've spent around 10K. We've got 10.5, and we have one running back. We could have one running back. We could have Christian McCaffrey. But between these two, I do think they will outscore Christian McCaffrey. So think about that. You're only getting $1,500 more here to price up these two for one type of deal. Quarterback, oh, man, there's a lot of different quarterbacks to choose from. Who are you thinking has the biggest potential to just blow the doors off of their matchup? Is it Brady? Is it Newton? Is it I don't know, Jalen Hurts? Where are you leaning this week? Is it Zack Wilson?
This is the tough one because I feel like I'm locked in at every position this week except quarterback. Well, and something inside of me wants to double down on Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm. I'm all for this. Now, this might mean later we put Christian McCaffrey or DJ Moore in our flex. Is that okay? That's
kind of what I had in mind.
Okay, I want to do a little something there. Okay, so we've got Cam Newton, Ty Johnson, James Robinson. It's not looking sexy, but that's what you want.
It's not supposed to.
No, it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to at all. Wide receivers, I have a few guys I'm thinking, but I want to hear your thoughts. Who do you have?
Devontae Adams.
That is nice. That's a sexy play. Devontae Adams.
Who else?
Who else? Do you have anybody? DJ Moore? Okay, put DJ in.
I'm not flexing him.
I'm not flexing. Starting. You're putting him in. I want to get our boy. Can I get our boy in here? I got to find him.
We're going two Jets. We're going two Jets. So, yes.
It's ugly. But
4% Elijah Moore.
4%. I don't care.
Did anybody watch what he just did 4 weeks in a row?
No.
Because he plays for the Jets.
He plays for the Jets. No, 4%. Between him and Ty Johnson, you get like 11, 12% in rostership. That's sexy.
What was Cam Newton's rostership?
Cam the man. Let's see. I'll have to go.
I expect because of what he did last week and the very small price hike that he might be a little chalky, but I could be wrong.
He is 13% rostered, so he might be
high. Yeah, second highest behind Brady.
Yep. But I mean, I think we were able to do that. We've got 70% rostership right now.
I'm not worried about that.
We're unique. Yeah, we're super unique. So I'm not even worried about it either. Let's talk about tight end. There's only 3 tight ends I think I'm considering this week, but I want to hear from you to see if we're in the same vein. Who are you going to be putting in here? And I don't care about rostership or ownership or anything like that. Firemuth, Ant, Gronk. I mean, who's tickling it for you?
I would say Pitts, Fant, or Firemuth.
Okay, let's put in Fant and see where we're at with our last two. Let's go to defense. I think we'll have a little bit of money left too. For our defense, do you just want to pay down? You just want to go all the way down, or do you want to Go up a little.
The Jags. Stack with the Jags with James Robinson. I'm doing it everywhere.
Okay,
If you want to play like Bo McBig time, you're playing J-Rob and the Jags this week. And for better or worse, that's what's going to happen.
It is what it is, right?
It's going to be something. We'll see.
Okay, so let's talk. We've got.
You like what we're left with here?
Oh, Devontae Smith.
You got Kittle. You got Deontay, who I'm not a huge fan of this week. Adam Thielen, 3% makes all the sense in the world. Devontae Smith, 3%. I want you to flip a coin between Thielen and Smith.
All right, hold on. Let's do this. Ready? We're going to do a virtual coin flip. See how this goes. Hopefully, it's not a porn site. Okay. So let's first of all, let's say I'm gonna let you call this heads for who and then tails for the other player. So who are you gonna be going with here?
On tails.
But you
Thielen.
just so Thielen is heads or Thielen is tails?
Thielen is tails.
Thielen is tails, and then we've got who do you want to be heads?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith is heads. Okay.
Or do you think Kittle? Kittle or Smith?
I like Smith. Okay.
Let's
flip heads or tails. Flipping. It is heads. So let's go put in Devontae Smith. Boom, boom, boom. Take Thielen out. Put Smith in. Doesn't change a thing. So let's take a look.
Same price. Same ownership.
Cam Newton, Ty Johnson, James Robinson, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Noah Fant, Devontae Smith. We have no money. We have $300 left, so we do have a little bit of money left. Do you want to look and see if there's anybody that we can go up to with that 300, or are we okay just leaving a little bit of money on the table? I don't see anybody here that I would want to get away from necessarily.
What about tight end?
Maybe. Yeah, let's check tight end real quick. We can do that. That was the only one I was considering, but it was a pay down option maybe for Gronk, which given the other
going to be super chalky too.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
No, it's Fant.
Yeah, it is Fant. There's nobody else that I want. Even Freiermuth, I don't want that. So let's put this in and let's go over to DraftKings and we're gonna actually build this lineup.
There's no way we're duping this one.
No, please don't dupe us, friends. I mean, seriously. We don't want to have to share our millions with anybody else here. Craig, I'm watching you, brother. I don't know about that.
Craig, play this lineup in a single entry small tournament that only you're invited to out of the whole circle of friends.
Yeah. And then win all the money, and then you can tell people all about it, what you did, and then you can let them know that you're a patron, and then you won all your money through us. And then
he's a patron with agility.
Oh, he is a super patron. Look how far we have to go. Look how many running backs people have to go through down to get here to Ty Johnson. It's just so ugly. I'm even surprised that people even are going to roster him. So this is looking good, though. I'm very excited about this. I'm aroused, as they say. So, but that.
You should get that under control.
Hey, listen.
I already went on a tirade about somebody that nobody's really heard of.
I know.
Everybody's like, "Who the hell is Drunken Mike?" Now he's gonna get a bunch of followers.
I hope not. Don't follow that tool. That guy's a tool. Don't follow him.
I don't mind him.
No, I know. Yeah. Well, here's the problem. After I disagreed with him, he sent all his people after me. That's why if you can't argue your own fight, you're I'm not gonna say what you are, but you know what you are. If you can't stand up for yourself and you gotta get all your cronies to come attack, that's just a joke. I have my own voice. I can speak for myself. I don't need it.
You got your own cronies too.
No one ever comes and fights my battles for me, though. I fight my own battles. People might come in and after I've bludgeoned someone to death, laugh at them, but they're not doing what I'm doing.
Sure. It's dark.
Man, dark. I know. Well, that's how. Have you seen the Simpsons meme? That's where I'm getting it from. Right there. Stop beating him. He's already dead. So okay. Elijah Moore. Elijah. I'm entering it. Congratulations, Bo. You're going to be a 50% stakeholder in the Millie Maker this week. We've got Cam Newton, Ty Johnson, J-Rob, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith. We have Noah Fant, Elijah Moore, and the Jags. And you know what? Just for good measure, I'm going to drop it into this.
That is disgusting.
That is the grossest thing I've ever played. But it actually has a huge upside. I'm really excited about this.
This lineup is either going to score 60 points or 260.
It is. All right. Last thing we have to do before we get out of here. We don't have a clash of the Beards and Bellies this week because we had a clash of the mashed potatoes and gravy.
Who won that?
It was some bastard named Bo. I don't know.
It wasn't even close.
It was 4 points. It was super close. What are you talking about?
4 points?
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
It was like 40 points.
Okay,
even your beloved DeAndre Swift couldn't save you.
No, he couldn't. But here we go. This was at the clash of the mashed potatoes and gravy. Bo, why don't you highlight your best plays? I'm not even going to give mine since they were terrible.
Carr was the best value quarterback on the slate. He scored almost as much as Josh Allen at a much lower price. Monty, pretty lackluster, 10 points. Jamal Williams was the best value on the slate. I identified it early in my research that him at the min price was just it was a travesty. I was pretty surprised to see him of all people at the min price. The Bears front isn't amazing, and Jamal didn't do anything great. I was expecting 10 points out of Jamal, and because Swift got hurt, he ended up going for much more. Stephon Diggs, amazing. I mean, I knew that I was going to want to spend up. Darnell Mooney, 20 points. That was great. Cedric Wilson, 20 points. That was great. You got lucky that I didn't drop a 200 burger at this lineup because Waller got hurt.
I had Waller too, though, by the way. I had every play that you had but 2, basically, or 3. So it was a very close matchup.
We had 5 matches.
No. You switched out the Lions. Did you put in the Raiders? Did you have the same as the Raiders? I thought you did at the end.
No, the Lions.
You're the Lions. Oh, okay, so 4 different ones. Yeah, the Raiders got me 0 points. That was terrible.
Yeah, well, the Lions got me 1.
I thought
4. It was like 1 or 4.
It was 4.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was 4.
But I had 3 or 4 guys go for 20 plus, and 3 of those guys were the guys you didn't have. So I was happy to take a more conservative approach where I did spend to get the upside of Stephon Diggs and Darnell Mooney, and the Cedric Wilson and Jamal Williams. They were safer picks for me value wise. Ended up having great games themselves. So I was very pleased because that same lineup won me good money, won me a couple smaller tournaments. So it was a good day to eat some turkey, drink some gravy, and beat up on my buddy Scott.
It was. You knocked the beard right off me. I do have to say, go check out our team number, our team nimble, wnumbers.com over here. We've got our articles up for this week. We've got our GPPs to get paid, our hot cash from the King of Spice. Both of those are must reads. Bo, you are killing it. I'm thankful for you this Thanksgiving season. Looking forward to the rest of December. All the money we're going to win, all the money we're going to make our patrons, all the money we're going to take from everybody else who's not a patron. I'm so excited. Where can people find you, your work, all that you're doing right now?
Twitter, Bo_McBigTime, just like right here, right there. Bo_McBigTime. BigTimeFlavor.co is where you can get all your official punch in the mouth of fantasy football, food goods, pantry items, hot sauce, 4 unique seasoning blends. They're all amazing. They're all completely clean ingredients, full of flavor. Every ingredient is flavor oriented. There's nothing, no fillers, no colors, artificial ingredients whatsoever. It's all flavor. It's all big time flavor. So hit that website. It is Small Business Saturday for a couple more hours. So hit the website and support me and my effort to get my products on every kitchen table in America.
No, I
North America, because we have lots of love in Canada.
Lots of Americas here. I do love what you're doing. It is in the YouTube link description. It's always going to be in there, but you can check out in the comments right now. You want to direct link to it without looking for it, please do check it out. BigTimeFlavor.co, as they say. Is that for corporation, Bo? Or is that for cock outrageous? What is that? What does that stand for there?
It's whatever you want it to be, baby.
Whatever you want it to be. I love it. Well, thank you.
But yeah, it is incorporated. I am a S corporation, so you can buy stock in Big Time Flavor Co. right now. So yeah, you can buy a piece of the company and take ownership, and hopefully down the road when everything starts blowing up, that stock price will rise, and you will be able to have me buy back your stocks for more money per share, and everybody's happy.
I love it. That's my goal. Take my money out of my DraftKings. I've been telling you, I'm waiting for it to go up. It's at $36. Just get that $40. I can shed my weight, get rid of it, and not lose all my.
I was smart and sold as 57 back in the day.
I should have sold it when it got to 70. I mean, I
bought in at $7 and sold at 57. That was last year. That was great. Great times.
I'm discouraged. You beat me again. Anyway, you can find me. I'm Scott Simpson. You can find me at nimblewnumbers.com. You can find me at nimblewnumbers on Twitter. That's where I hang my hat. I'm here, the good-looking guy with the amazing out-kicking his coverage wife. I'm working for myself. I'm working for Fantasy Millionaires, which is myself with Mike Collins. I'm also working for the Mayo Media Network. Go check out the Mayo Media Network. Pat Mayo is the man. I appreciate him. Appreciate LQ, my co-host.
That's where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get hired by Mayo.
I'd love for you to work with me at Mayo, man. That would be outstanding. Also, tout for Run the Sims, Underdog Fantasy, Occupy, Prize Picks as well. All those, code Nimble. Please do. And by the way, my favorite Prize Picks play this week is our boy Elijah Moore. 43 and a hook. Oh, make that the base that you start building.
In the first quarter? Is it the proper first quarter?
No, it's the whole game. It's the whole game.
Oh,
yeah,
so it really is a prize pick because you're going to hit it in the first quarter.
You're gonna win that one. You pair that one up with a couple other juicy tidbits that they have, and you'll get there. So please do go check out Prize Picks, code Nimble as well. And I think that's it. Check out the Awesemo Show on the contrary. Also check out Fantasy Pros with Joe Pisapia. I was both of those places this week. That content is so available. You'll be there, my friend. You'll be there. I'll say,
hey, at least Joe Pisapia is awesome enough to follow me. And that made my day a couple months ago when he followed me early in the season. I was like, Joe Pisapia follows me. And my wife was like, who? And I was like, you don't even know. He's a big deal. He's published. He's got a black book on Amazon, and it's remarkable.
Yes. No, and I will say this, Bo. The one reason why I think that I have been able to jump in these places is because I've been kissing these guys' asses for years.
And I refuse to do that. I don't even kiss your ass.
Oh, I know. I mean, here's the thing. By kissing ass, it just means that I am fanboy first. I've loved Joe Pisapia. I've loved Alex Baker. And, well, not Alex Baker as much as Lofty. I've been listening to Lofty for a long time. Love him. So both, those guys, those people I fall in love with professionally, and then I want to meet them and become friends with them. So that's kind of where I've been pursuing, and it's worked out. So you know what? Don't be discouraged. Bo, you are my favorite DFS analyst. And to me, you're number one in my book. I'd rather have you over anybody else. I love you, brother. Appreciate you so much. On that note, we're going to jump out of here. Please do go Patreon all of our different subs that we work for and go win some money and let us know. Like Bo always says, let us know when you win the money so that we can celebrate with you. I don't care if I just win. I want everybody to win. I want Bo to win. I want all our patrons to win. So please let us know.
Send me a head-to-head. Anybody out there? I want the smoke.
Yeah, give this guy all the juice. Pete Overzet, you heard that. That's a call out. So
he kicked my ass earlier this year. I had a bad day.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Pete took the call a few weeks ago, and I had that was a really bad week. I lost all my head-to-heads that week. So yeah, Pete, you didn't get my best. So yeah, let's run it back.
Definitely run it back. Well, appreciate everybody, especially our guy Craig. He jumping in the comments. He is
Craigar
Ruaith. We appreciate you, Craig. Thank you so much, brother. He is the king of the memes and the gifs. He crushes it. He just makes all these.
He has pictures of my face that I didn't even know existed, and he supplants them on very famous gifs, and it's hilarious. But sometimes they make me cry myself to sleep because they're really mean.
He's here just gathering pictures of your face. Let's talk about why he's really here. Yeah, he's going to take a picture of your face from the broadcast and put it on something tomorrow, I'm sure.
He is the GIF version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He steals your face and he puts it on a GIF. And whatever it comes to his mind, if he thinks of something funny, a movie reference or something that's GIF worthy, he will remove your face and put it on a GIF. And most of the time it's hysterical. And sometimes you're just like, oh man, everybody's having fun at my expense now.
That GIF hits home. That's true.
It really cuts me down to the core.
Well, you know what? I will say this. I have a very, very inflated sense of self. So, Craig, please bring me all the gifts. I don't care.
Massive ego on this.
I have a huge ego protecting a tiny.
Oh yeah, see. Yeah. Just have to hide behind the microphone. Craig. Don't gift me behind a microphone.
No. Well, we appreciate everybody. Craig, Bo, anybody who is part of the Thieves. We're down. We love it.
Shout out Thieves.
Yeah, shout out Thieves. Appreciate you all. We'll be back next week. As always, we've got like 7 more weeks of this until we get to the playoffs. We'll have a few playoff shows.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going away, folks. We will see.
Football.
Yeah. On that note, peace. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.